You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good day, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. He was our fifth president. You knew him, you loved him. James Monroe.
Monroe, yeah. Yeah, that one. Not Madison. He was later.
Jumped all
Jumped
over
the
it
gun.
and then jumped right into
Jumped
it,
the
didn't
gun.
he? Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. And
it was James.
I loved this movie, and the book was real solid, too. Author Harper Lee, who brought us To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not even really about killing mockingbirds.
Phenomenal stuff. And speaking of killing, hey, happy birthday to Saddam Hussein. Whoops, wait, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was 1919 this very day. This had, I tell you what, talk about having guts. Holy cow. Again, it's 1919.
Long time ago.
Okay.
101 years ago.
The first jump of the U.S. Army Air Corps using the very first ripcord activated parachutes.
Oh, can you imagine being the first guy?
Up till then, parachutes had to unbutton them, which was pretty time consuming. What part of this am I making up? You be the judge. So, yay technology.
Yeah, ripcord parachute. That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, and just to self-indulge a little bit, shout out to my son this morning. Formerly, Special Forces.
So he jumped out of perfectly good airplanes.
He did. Yeah, which was absolutely crazy. Yes, he was Army Airborne.
That apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Dan. I could see you doing that.
It was weird. He was the kid where, honest to goodness, I couldn't convince him to take training wheels off his bike till he was like 22. He wouldn't go down the slide at the kiddie pool at McKinnon.
Oh, wow.
And then I turned around, missed a meeting, and the next thing I know, he's jumping out of planes carrying machine guns. I'm going, what? Somebody switch kids? What
happened here? Oh, that's really cool. Thank him for his service. That's
Absolutely.
really neat. Coming up here in a bit, we've got, what all do we have? It's a Tuesday. Oh, we got Tuesdays with Charlie later in the day.
Love Charlie.
I've got some bright spot of news with Ken Munch. I'm excited to chat with him. He's going to be stopped by. He's an optimist here in Sioux Falls.
He's a good
Big
guy.
fan of
Super
Ken's
nice
too,
dude.
yeah.
And much more. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you in part by Anytime Notary.
If you need a notary, call Anytime Notary. We can notarize anything, anywhere. Anytime Notary has a patent-pending mobile notary service that comes directly to you. If you need a notary, call Anytime Notary. Available weekdays from 10 to 11 a.m. only, not including Tuesdays or Thursdays. Anytime Notary. All your notary needs almost anytime. Call Heidi Jean at 605-933-1980. Anytime Notary.
Now, more than ever, you need a credit card that offers what you need. Some cards have high rates. Some have annual fees. Some are just not very good. Usually people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes. You may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card probably won't tell you, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks, run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan. Something's got you tickled over there.
Morning, John. How are you? That's great. Heidi.
Hello, Ranger Dan.
Heidi. Hey. You know, Heidi, you must have had yourself an omelet this morning because you're getting me pretty darn excited. They can't all be home runs. Hey. Radio Rangers, gather around. We got a thing going here. It's been going on for a couple of weeks, and I just can't get my fill of knowledge on one of God's great little creatures, the squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've been learning a lot about the squirrels.
Gray squirrel, because, you know, we understand that, you got to stick either in or real close to home these days.
Yeah.
But looking out the windows, maybe off your deck, maybe you go for a walk in the park, whatever, them squirrels are everywhere. And boy, they are fascinating. This is a super fun squirrel fact. And this is a fact. I know, Ranger Dan, sometimes I might embellish things a little bit, but
A little bit, yeah.
it's honest to goodness truth. You can Google it on that fancy Google machine of yours.
All right.
Rather than use special effects, movie director Tim Burton had 40 squirrels trained to crack nuts for that scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Really?
Remember the scene with all the squirrels in the laboratory?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
That was not special effects.
So they were really cracking those nuts.
He had 40 squirrels trained to crack those nuts. That is a true story.
interesting.
It is. That's a fun fact that I didn't embellish.
That's very cool.
That's a very
I
fun
love that.
fact.
You can look that up.
I'm going to have to.
Speaking of getting on the Google machine, it brings me this little bit of business here, little Radio Rangers, and this involves you personally. I hope you can pitch in. Apparently, old Ranger Dan's been losing some subscribers on the old Ranger Dan YouTube thingy there. And associates tell me it's really all about fresh content. Got to keep that content going to keep people intrigued in what's going on there.
We've got 2 videos.
So, little Radio Rangers, if you could just leave a trail of peanuts from where your little yard squirrels hang out, leading right into your house.
Oh,
When that squirrel scampers on in, you just shut the door.
okay.
Make sure you got that fancy smartphone of yours ready to record. And it's going to be helpful if you happen to have a cat or a dog or maybe both in the house, too. Now, also make sure to get some close-ups of the expression on Mommy's and Daddy's face.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be good.
Simply send your results along with a one-time payment of just $7.95. Get that little home movie up and running. It's fun, it's educational for the whole darn family. And oh, hey, if you don't happen to have any nuts handy, you just jump on my website, click on the old Big Bag of Nuts tab there, and you're going to get yourself a pound of official Ranger Dan nuts for just $5.95. Well, 4 to 265 days for delivery. Well, that's all the time we've got this morning, little Radio Rangers. Good luck with the squirrel in the house thing. We're looking forward to seeing your results. Keep in mind, what doesn't kill you just likely make you stronger. Except for bears. Bears will kill you every damn time. As Ranger Dan, I'd say it with me. Yeah,
Sir.
Introducing InsuranceChicken.com. Why InsuranceChicken.com? Why not? Another insurance company has a duck, one has an emu, and that other company has a lizard. So InsuranceChicken.com is no more silly than any of those. Is it time for you to cross the road for your insurance? Don't be chicken. Check out InsuranceChicken.com. We'll help you peck out the best insurance rates we can find at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris is back in the newsroom at the news desk, guessing with some news.
This is fascinating. I think, John, maybe you can answer this because I kind of can't. Here's the situation, and thanks to my pals over at Kello for letting me snag this story. Avera Health is updating a lot of health facilities have kind of little ceremonies when somebody's getting out. For instance, I think locally here, if you've battled cancer, you ring a little bell, things like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there are songs involved, too. For instance, locally here, Avera Health is updating a song played at their hospitals. For several years, visitors and staff at several Avera hospitals have heard the song We're Caring for Life, or other tunes played when either a baby is born or something else great happens at the facility. Now, here's the thing. The healthcare system is changing the tune when either babies are born or somebody has recovered from COVID-19.
Okay.
Or as I call it, the Chinese virus.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing the 1969 Beatles hit, Here Comes the Sun.
Here comes the sun.
Okay.
Now, my question is this. Again, one of the biggest Beatles hits ever. It was actually written by George Harrison. It was on the Abbey Road album.
What if you're having a girl?
There's been remakes, blah, 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 blah. But I'm looking at, how does this work with copyright?
I don't know.
Who owns this? Can they play it? Do
Michael
they
Jackson
have to
owns
get
it.
rights to it?
I don't think
I
Jackson
think Paul
does
McCartney.
own it. Oh, really?
I think the Beatles bought it back.
Yeah, I think
Did they buy him back?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he gave him back.
So can they just play that at a whim?
sure
Do
they
they have to pay
a royalty for it.
royalties?
Yeah, they'd have to
or-
pay a royalty.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, and trust me, I know a lot about this.
Well,
Those music
things have
mafia
changed a bit.
folks.
I went through it for years and
royalties
years and years.
companies.
Like, for instance, on occasion, a client would say, hey, I'd like to play this song on my commercial. You
Can't do it.
You can't.
Unless you buy the rights to it. So I'm looking at this, I'm going, okay, that's pretty cool, but...
Maybe they bought the rights to it. I doubt it.
Guessing so.
Back in 95, Bill Gates with Microsoft, he bought the rights to the Rolling Stones' Start Me Up.
Okay.
So he actually owns the rights to that song.
Right.
Because they used that for Windows 95. For all of the promotion of that, they had the Start Me Up song playing, because that's when they introduced the start button on computers, the Start Me Up. And so he just, instead of paying for the royalties to use it once in a while, he just bought it.
Yeah, which is going to bring us to our next segment with the celebrity news, which has to do with the NFL draft.
Ooh.
And Start Me Up is actually the song that is played
Wow.
at Lambeau during kickoff.
Well, I'm excited to chat about that.
I wonder if the Pickers are paying for that.
I bet they are.
They are.
I'm
I'll
telling
look
you.
into it and turn them in.
Music royalties companies, they will find you. I'm telling you right now.
will.
Coming up here in a moment, we've got Ken Munch from the Sioux Falls Morning Optimist Club. He'll be stopping in. We're going to chat with him about our bright spot of news that's on the way.
Anybody else about ready for a vacation?
This October, we're going to Cancun for an amazing event called The Sands.
Awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This event happens at the end of October, so when everything blows over, we're all going to need a vacation. So join us for this one.
We've been to this event the last 3 years, met some amazing people, and it is so much fun.
Get all of the information and get your spot reserved to join us at thesands.rocks.
That's thesands.rocks.
Time now for a bright spot of news, and I've got Ken Munch joining me with Optimus in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. How are you, sir?
I'm doing extremely good. How about you?
Fantastic. Now, first of all, how many different chapters of the Optimist Club are there in Sioux Falls? Is there just one, or are there several?
We have actually 4 in the area. We've got Harrisburg, Hartford, Brandon, it's called Brandon Valley Optimist Club, Sioux Falls Morning Optimist Club, and a Sioux Valley Optimist Club. So that's 5, isn't it?
So there's several options then.
Absolutely.
And this is an organization that I know quite well. I've been a member of the Optimist Club in the past, and I think it's an awesome organization. You guys do some great things. But for people that are not familiar with Optimist International, what are some of the things that you do?
Sure. Our main mission on an international level is to provide hope and positive vision. Optimists bring out the best in our youth, best in our communities, and the best in ourselves. So it's like a 3-legged stool.
Yeah. And with a 3-legged stool, if you remove one of those legs, it's not very sturdy.
Well, exactly. It's just a good balance. We also are so involved, and many of our members have brought out the best in them by becoming officers and so on, and being president of one of the clubs. They go on to be able to speak in front of people, which is a credible thing. And one of the strong things that I feel really positive about is our oratorical contest.
Yeah.
Over the years that I've been a member, I've heard so many comments that, I did that oratorical contest for the Optimist Club, and it kind of got me out of my shell. I just was able to talk in front of people.
Now, there's something coming up later this week that's going to be done differently this year than normal, right?
Well, with our uncertain times and avoiding contact and getting people together, it's very difficult. But traditionally, we have on stage 12 to 15 young people that under the age of 18 that present an oratorical presentation with a topic on optimist and optimism. And this year, because of all the isolation, it has gone to a Zoom meeting, which recording the kids or having them do it live in front of judges on a distance basis, so an isolated basis. And this Saturday we will have our district competition. We have 8 young ladies and men presenting their optimist view on life on a Zoom situation. And out of that, they will receive, they've already received something from their club that they presented to. But we have $2,500 for them towards scholarship. And then ultimately, on the international level, there's a $22,000 scholarship available to them. So
that's very, very nice.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting being over the
And
Zoom
is this the
system,
first time it's ever been done this way? It's usually always in person, right?
Exactly, and as it's different when you're in front of someone and making eye contact and trying to say your point of view and so on, and presentation and so on. it's easier to look into a computer and a nice camera and say, here I am. You know?
Yeah, for some it is. For me, it's not. I'm still, every time I've done a Zoom meeting, I just feel so out of place.
Yeah.
So, like, can I just talk? Can you just hear my voice? Hold up a picture of Heidi or something?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and half the time the dog is barking in the background,
Yeah.
or somebody runs the kitchen sink water and so on.
Yeah,
So,
well, it's been really interesting to get used to this new world. But
it is.
You had sent me an email a while back talking about how this is a great time for people to live out the optimist creed, because as an optimist, you always do kind of look at the sunny side of everything, which I think is really, really nice.
Wanted to let you know some of the other programs that we have.
Absolutely.
Junior golf opportunity, where a few famous names like Tiger Woods and so on participated in that. Phil Mickelson, and the list goes on. And many of the lady golfers, LPG, now have gone through the Optimist Junior Golf. There's also an essay contest, and then a communication and hard of hearing contest for the young people. The essay contest, we did have a winner this year, too. But
that's awesome. Ken Munch with the Sioux Falls Morning Optimist Club, and also just kind of a reminder, they're having their meeting this weekend. It's a big deal, but it's going to be done through Zoom because of the world that we're living in today. But they found an optimistic way to continue to do what they're doing instead of saying, oh, we're going to cancel it. That'd be the pessimist club that would do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a good friend that every time I talk to him about optimism, he says, that'll never work. No, this weekend we will have 57 clubs represented
Nice.
in our district, which is Dakotas, Minnesota, and Manitoba.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Again, Ken Munch with today's Bright Spot of News.
It's a tough time, but we will get through this together. If you have the means, we encourage you to participate in the gift card challenge. That's a simple thing you can do to help people around you. Just buy a gift card from one of your favorite local businesses, then use it when things get back to normal. Or be a rock star and give it to someone working on the front lines to keep us safe. Either way, when you buy the gift card, post a photo on social media with #GiftCardChallenge. Learn more at giftcardchallenge.org.
Time now for a little thing we like to call Entertainment News of the Day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Hey, don't you know it? Celebrities are fabulous. I've been waiting for the scores to come out because here's the thing. I spent a lion's share of the past weekend watching the NFL draft.
Right.
And it was fascinating to me because usually there everybody is. Here's the big top college players ready to go. Here's the teams, here's the manager, everybody. But they couldn't do that this year. So everything was done online. I thought this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
They pulled it off pretty well.
That's what you were saying.
And I mean, what they managed to pull off was pretty crazy. I mean, they're in every coach's house. They're in these players' homes.
Yeah.
And it was just a whole different vibe. And Roger Goodell, who I'm not a huge fan of, he did a pretty good job, too, hosting the thing.
Did he have a podium in his living room?
He did not, but he had a big split screen thing, and he was engaging with players. He even did a little dance at one point. I mean,
Really?
it was kind of interesting. Yeah, but here's the other part of it. They actually turned this into a big fundraiser, too, for the Chinese virus pandemic. Anyway.
I don't think it was for the
or the COVID-19, whatever you want to call it.
I don't think it was for the virus, though.
No. It's all the groups doing stuff, trying to
Okay.
whatever. They actually called it a draftathon.
Oh, nice.
While the draft was going on.
Yeah.
And from people tuning in and contributing, along with all 32 NFL teams and ownership and swag and everything else, they busted out over $100 million.
Nice.
in
That's really
donations,
cool.
Which is really cool. And again, I was waiting for the grades to come out. Again, there's 32 teams, and the experts get together, and they grade A to F who had the best draft.
Yeah.
Only 4 teams got an A this year.
Oh, really?
And the Vikings are one of them.
Nice.
Vikings drafted 15 players, the most in team history. 15 players.
Wow.
15.
Are they just replacing everybody then?
I think so. We've got 2 wide receivers, 3 cornerbacks, 3 defensive ends, 2 safeties, a linebacker, 2 guards, a tackle, and for some reason at the last minute, a quarterback out of Iowa.
Really? And a partridge in a pear tree. That's a lot.
Yeah, but we get an A, and just so you know, because I know people around the Sioux Falls area, some of them like other teams other than the Vikings. The Bears got a solid C.
Okay.
Oh.
Packers got a D.
Oh, wow.
Weenies.
Can you tell he's a Vikings fan?
Lions got a C+. Broncos got a B+.
Okay.
Last year's favorite Super Bowl winner, Kansas City Chiefs, pulled a B. And for our good friend, Dan Steinberg over at Steinberg's Furniture. As far as I know, the only Miami Dolphins fan in the city.
There's a couple.
Dolphins did pretty good. They eked out an A-.
Okay, so who are the other two A's? You said there were four A's. Do you have
four
those?
A's. You got the Vikings.
Dolphins?
No. Dolphins got an A-.
Oh, that still counts as an A to me.
Solid A here. Solid A.
Wow.
Arizona Cardinals, Baltimore Ravens, and
Arizona Cardinals.
Carolina Panthers.
Ha.
I thought that was a baseball team.
Okay, John again. This is why I seldom do sports. It's a world so far removed from yours, and yet you delve into it.
I'm not even teasing. Doesn't that sound like a baseball team to you?
See, I don't talk power tools.
Have they been playing baseball in the past? They just switched over?
Power tools.
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, so there is a Cardinals. See?
Has been for a long time.
I've totally redeemed myself. Okay, not really. I haven't even sort of redeemed myself. Well, Dan, thank you very much for coming in, sir.
Wow.
And, he was talking about a little draft-a-thon. I just want to make sure I let folks know we're going to be doing the Sunny Radiothon for Feeding America.
Oh, this big thing
coming
Thursday,
up on
right?
this Thursday. You're going to be hearing about it, the next few days leading up to it. But be prepared on Thursday to make a contribution, and it's going to help the local group here as well, Feeding South Dakota. But we're doing this together with radio stations all around the land.
This thing's coast to coast.
First time this has ever happened. The thing that we're doing, where it's involving over 8,000 radio stations,
independent radio stations.
Not just most of them are, but now there are some of the bigs that have gotten involved as well because they said, "Hey, this is cool. Let's all work on this."
I think the last time that this happened was in the mid-'80s when we all pulled the trigger at the same time. Every station in the country played "We Are the World."
Yeah.
I did it from Wisconsin.
That's cool. Yeah. And I remember listening to that. I was not in Wisconsin, but I heard it in South Dakota.
You were about 3.
No.
I was like 8. So
you were probably out playing football. I'm killing me over here.
Be listening for all of the details on the Sunny Radiothon for Feeding America coming up this Thursday. Today's program brought to you in part by Anytime Notary.
If you need a notary, call Anytime Notary. We can notarize anything, anywhere. Anytime Notary has a patent-pending mobile notary service that comes directly to you. If you need a notary, call Anytime Notary. Available weekdays from 10 to 11 a.m. only, not including Tuesdays or Thursdays. Anytime Notary. All your notary needs almost anytime. Call Heidi Jean at 605-933-1980. Anytime Notary.
Now, more than ever, you need a credit card that offers what you need. Some cards have high rates. Some have annual fees. Some are just not very good. Usually people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If you've done that, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes. You may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card probably won't tell you, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Tuesday, April 28th. The equities markets are rebounding, but investors are urged to remain cautious. While the rebound is good, the market is forgetting about two things that may mean this correction could last another quarter or two. First is the fact that the coronavirus pandemic is not over, far from it. The number of global cases continues to grow daily, showing the spread is not yet contained. The risk for the markets in this regard is twofold. On one hand, reopening too soon could spark another wave of infection. On the other, experts agree we should expect a second wave this fall regardless of social distancing now. And the second is the earnings outlook. Earnings are the basis of stock prices, and the outlook for 2020 EPS continues to fall. With this situation in play, the S&P 500 is setting itself up for a reset of the March lows. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.